Hi everybody, Happy New Year. This is April, May, June Stitcher. I hope everybody's had a lovely Christmas and New Year, celebrating with family and friends, or if you don't celebrate, I just hope you've had a nice time overall. I've been off work for about 2.5 weeks, so I feel very relaxed and I'm due to go back to work tomorrow. So I'm actually filming today because I'm hoping it will be a start for the rest of the year, and you know, start as I mean to go on type thing. Anyway, I've got quite a lot to show you in the way of just bits and bobs. Anyway, so I'll get onto the things that I've worked on this since my last video, albeit this one there's not a lot to show really, but this is winter salt boxes by Plum Street Samplers. I did make a tiny start, but that is all I got round to doing, and this is the one with the house, and I'm just using threads that I've got in my stash, so I find that a little bit hard to do when I first start off, so I did only do a tiny little bit. That was also a purchase since my last video, and this one was also a purchase. This is Bethia by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. It's a band sampler. It was released on Boxing Day. It's beautiful, and I made, oh, these are the colours. I'm just doing it in the DMC threads. Sorry if the light's not great, it's a bit of a overcast day today. So these are the colours, and I'm just using DMC as I said, and this is what I've managed to get done. It came on Saturday I think, or the Monday, and I started it straight away, but then I needed to go out for a friend's birthday on the 30th. Yeah, Monday the 30th is when I started it. So then New Year's Eve I then did a little bit more over here, but yeah, I'm trying to stitch this exactly as it was charted without trying to make things look more perfect. I am trying to stitch it exactly as it is, so the way this it's Bethia and then the start of her surname, but then I think she ran out of room, so didn't bother with the rest of her surname, so the Y looks as if it's backwards, then the A I want to move over here, but I am just going to try and do it as much as it is charted. But yeah, it is beautiful, and you do get a lovely double page spread in the middle of the book. If you've not worked with a Hands Across the Sea sampler book before, they are very well done with lots of stitch diagrams. Sorry about the light, and the pattern is very clear. Then I worked on Nora Corbett Victorian House. I only worked on this a little tiny bit, so there was not much since my last video, so I think I've just done the fence and then completed more of the door. Yeah. And then I also worked on Stars by The Drawn Thread. This I showed in my last video as well, and this is where I am. So I've just, sorry it's all creased, but I've just filled in the houses, and this is one of my Stitch 9 pieces for 2020. I found that the Stitch 9 challenge really worked for me because it wasn't overwhelming, and I just needed to choose 9 whips. So I'm going to carry on and do that for this year. I know there are lots of other things that are going on, or other ways to work on your whips this year, but I've decided just to stick with Stitch 9 because I just loved it. And then finally, this is my shove it in my handbag, because I borrowed this chart from somebody. I've made a copy. So this is Birds of a Feather, Sally Spencer, and this is where I am now. So I have done quite a lot, so I've only got to fill in this part of the alphabet, this, and then the bottom part of the alphabet, and then there's just one line, and I think it's a red line of just to split up the alphabet and where it's a sooner begun, sooner done. But yeah, I love this, and this is another of my Stitch 9 pieces for this year. So then finishes, I've only got one finish to show you because all of the others are FFOs, and then the other finish I've got is actually at the framers, so I'll have to insert a picture of that. Now this looks a bit rubbish, but this was my final Stitch 9 piece for 2019, and I managed to get 8 of my 9 done, with Anniversaries of the Heart being the 9th, and so I'll be putting that in for this year. So yes, I know this looks a bit rubbish and I'm saying that this is finished, but my idea is, let me just get the frame. I've got this frame from Hobbycraft, and I've just put some mat board, some wadding, and then layered some fabric. It's just a tiny red check, and then I want to, this will fit in there like this, but it's also long and oblong, and then here I want to put some of the pins that you can buy for supporting the poppy appeal, and then I want to add my great granddad's First World War medal that I've got, and then I've got some cotton lace, is that the right word, that I want to add. And I know it sounds a bit rubbish, but I'm hoping it will work, and if not, I'll think of something else to do. But I don't want it to look too perfect, because I think the decor for the time wasn't about everything being pristine. I just want it to look a bit, I don't know, I'm not doing a very good job of explaining, but yeah, I also need to add on some 3D poppies as well, but hopefully I will have that finished. I needed to buy some more mat board so I could mount this before I could finish it, and I only picked that up the other day. So that's that. And my other finish is Kitty Cat Row by Bent Creek, and I'll insert a picture here and just a little video that scans across it, because it's quite long and thin, so I'll just insert that, and then I've also put some buttons on it. And it's at the framer to be done, and what they do is actually will put some little paw prints on the frame for me. They've got a model in their shop that is for the dog one, I don't know what it's called, and they've got paw prints the same on that, so that's what I'm sort of having done. I was going to try and change up the colours to match every cat that I've ever had, but I just wanted to get it done. I really enjoyed stitching it, so I just followed the chart, and yeah, that, and I'm glad it's all done. I think it's really sweet. And then I've got FFOs now, that all fit in this tiny little tray that I made. I took part in 2 exchanges, so one with the Dixie Sampler Exchange group, and this was just to send a stitch item and some sweet treats. So I'll insert a picture here of what I received, and then I'll insert a picture here of what I sent. And it's a Prairie Schooler from, I don't know what it's called, but it's from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, the ornaments, and I can't remember what the year was either, but I'll see if I can find out, and I'll insert the information down the bottom. I did leave off, there was a fence at the bottom which I left off, and I did it on some blue sparkly Ada, and you know what, I really enjoyed just stitching on the Ada. It was mindless, easy stitching, and I just, you know, it was quick, easy to do, and I did actually really enjoy stitching it. So then some other finishes I've got. This was my original Dixie Sampler exchange. No, before that, yeah, the other exchange that I took part in was me and my Stitchy BFF Christina, whilst Iris Nats on Instagram. We are going to try and do this annually, where we stitch each other something, but we decided to go with, you had to choose something from the Just Cross Stitch ornaments or the preview magazines, and there's so many to choose from. I think you go through the magazines, say I like that, I like that, I like that, and then almost never get round to stitching them or stitch something else you bought. So these were the rules that we put in place, and this is what she made me. I can't remember the name of it, but I know it's from, oh, what's it called? I know it's by Country Cottage Needleworks. I'll have to insert all the information on the screen, but she has wanted to stitch this for ages and never done it, so she stitched it for me, and then also added a little charm and a stitch present on the back, and then it's ruched ribbon, and I just love it. It's on a sparkly linen, so I'm not sure if you can actually see, maybe a little bit, and I just love it. I love all the colours and everything about it, and I think she's done it in DMC, and I know DMC metallics, which are just a nightmare to work with, but she did a cracking job. I've got a picture here of what I stitched for Christina. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's measures about 28 centimetres long, but it's her own fault because she likes flamingos, and I found this in the Just Cross Stitch, I think, 2 that I've made some crappy notes. It's called Feliz Flamingo, and it's from the 2003 Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine, and it's just ridiculous, but I love it. It was really fun to stitch, not so fun to put together. It's a shape I've never done before. Anyway, so then I've got some FFOs that are for me now. This was my original Dixie Sampler Exchange stitch piece that I did, but I didn't want to give it away, so that's why I stitched the other thing, the other Prairie Schooler. Now this is Mistletoe House. Let me just check. Yeah, Mistletoe House in the Just Cross Stitch 2006 ornaments magazine. But yeah, I just love how this has turned out, and then I stuck on some chenille. And then another FFO, this is Raccoon Cabin by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is part of the Frosty Forest, the larger Frosty Forest monthly designs that they had, that I think there was nine pieces you stitched all together. I did have all the charts, but I ended up selling them, and I just FFO'd this. I chose a spotty fabric, and this is Lady Dot Creates trim. Then I have got Garden House by Shepherd's Bush. I showed this in my last video, finished, and then I took it to my framer and they FFO'd it, and this is the same frame as my other Shepherd's Bush that I had framed that I showed in my last video as well. This is where the mats came with the kit, so that's the only reason I've got a Jill Rensel mat. And then this is Piece by Blackbird Designs, and again from a Just Cross Stitch Ornaments magazine. I think it's 2009. Sorry, and I just used whatever threads I had, none of the called for, and I finished it. Because you could buy the finishing kit of this, and it was, I don't know what it was made of, but it was quite chunky, and you laid it into it, so I wanted almost the same effect. And I've got some of that same chenille that I used just to trim around it, and I did it 4 times round, so either 3 or 4 times that I put it round it just to make it look a bit thicker, and then used some for the hanger. And then my other FFO is what's this called? Merry Little Christmas by Shepherd's Bush. Now I bought the tray. I made a trip to the Nimble Thimble to pick up some stuff that I'd ordered, and then this was the last one, because she went to the Harrogate show in November. Well, actually it was the beginning of December, and she'd ordered a load of these, and this was the last one, so it was there, and I'd already got the I showed this in my last video, I'd got the Halloween one, and then I'd ordered the bee one, the summer one, and that's what I went to go in to collect, but because this was there, I thought, oh, you know, and I just stitched it practically straight away and then finished it off, and I just love it. So if you can't see that very well, but I think it's so sweet, and I love how it fits in the tray, and I've used 3 layers of wadding to really poof it out. I mean, it's not perfect, but you know, I think it looks pretty good, even if I do say so myself. Yeah, these are not inexpensive, but I do think it really does make it. And that is it for my FFOs. Let me just check. Oh no, I've got another one which I gave to my friend for Christmas, and it was the Winter Tammy by Brooks Books, so I'll insert a picture here. I was really pleased with how this turned out as well. And yeah, that is it. That's all my FFOs for Christmas that I managed to get done. So now, purchases. Now I don't think this looks too bad for me. I think it's really quite contained, so I'll show you with one really quite big purchase, but you know, because I really enjoyed stitching on that Ada for my Dixie sampler exchange, I just wanted some mindless, bit out of breath, some mindless stitching. So I bought a Bathy Threads kit. This actually makes up a card, and it's Xmas Mousse. And then I've actually replaced the Ada that comes in the kit, which is a grey, with the leftover of the blue sparkly Ada that I bought for my exchange. But I never actually got round to starting that one. Then this is the Crown Bird sampler by Plum Street Samplers, and I bought this because of Adele Smurfette Stitches. She was working on hers at the Milton Keynes cross stitch retreat in October, and I just loved the colours, the red especially, albeit she's not using this called for red. I think she's using Tulip Belle Soie, I think, and it's a gorgeous red. But yeah, and I've got the call for fabric for this. So then I've got Home for Christmas by Plum Street Samplers, which I absolutely love. I've taken everything out of the plastic so not to try and make too much noise. Christmas Sentiments by Stony Creek. I've never had one of their charts before, and this is because of Christine Stitch All the Things. I saw her working on hers on Instagram, and I just loved all the colours. But I am just using whatever I've got in my stash, so not the called for anything. So yeah, that's just a few, and then just some fabric. That is 28 count platinum by Permin, or what do they say in the US? Witchold. Honestly, my mind's gone blank today. This one is by the Primitive Hair. Now, excuse the way that's printed. This, I bought the digital download and printed it out at work, and there was something very much wrong with our printer with the lines. But this is Winter Blessings, and I saw this on Instagram and I just thought it was very sweet. And this one is actually not a purchase, it was a freebie that the designer sent to me, and this is Rosa Christ 1891, and this is because of Michelle from the Striped Rose. She had just finished it actually in her last video, and it looked gorgeous, so I found out who the designer, or the lady who designed it. I think this is her great grandmother's or grandmother's sampler. That's the original there in the photo, and I found out how Michelle got her copy, and I did message her and I said, could I purchase it, and she wouldn't. She said it wasn't for sale, but she would send me a copy, and I was just really grateful. I got it printed out on card, and I've got some of the threads and the linen. I'm not sure, I've got still quite a few DMC to collect still, but yeah, I just thought this was gorgeous. Then I bought this is Christmas Sampler by the Cottage Garden. Their charts, I've not had one of their charts before, but it's like a fold out. So yeah, it's, I can't remember who I've seen do this, either on Instagram or a Flosstube, but sorry, I hope you can see that. Was it Priscilla? Was it Chelsea? I don't know. I know they Chelsea had done the Halloween one. But yeah, I love this. I bought Betsy Snyder by Brenda Gervais. This is a reproduction, and I think that one is the original on the used as the picture. It only calls for a few threads really, and those are all the called for threads, and I've just got some fabric there that I dyed. But you know, she normally uses loads of different threads. This one has only got, let's count, you're probably not interested, but 1, 5, 6, there's only 6 thread colours that are used in that chart, so that makes quite a nice change. But yeah, I thought that was really lovely. Then I saw someone stitch this up on Instagram. They used a much darker fabric, this winter by the Cricket Collection, and I just loved it. I've always liked these, the month ones and the season ones, but this one especially, I love winter, but yeah, I would really like to do that one. And then finally, and I say I'm not, this isn't where I am anymore, but sometimes I think an old classic is, you just remember it from way back when you first saw it, and that's what I did. But this is Sleeping Beauty by Mirabilia, and I bought this for £5 on eBay because they said it was slightly damaged, and the damage is basically that little bit there on the chart and on the cover. But I mean, who gives a care about the cover? But yeah, £5, and I just bought it. I have kitted it up, not with the intention of doing that, but I think it's just nostalgia more than anything. I'm not entirely sure about my fabric choice there, but we will see. And I know Christina has also got this as well, and we were thinking, oh, shall we start it? But we're not entirely sure because it is quite heavily stitched, and I'd need to get the beads, you know, because I'll just finish it in a month. Yeah, so I would need to buy the beads. But yeah, she's always been one that I've liked. I think because she looks quite pre-Raphaelite-y, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but I've just always loved this one. And I couldn't believe it when I saw it for £5 because I know it's an out of print one and it's quite hard to get hold of, but I was just lucky on the day. And then finally, so that is not bad for me, I don't think. But then this is embroidery, and it's I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this, but this is the Owl in the Pussycat, and it's by Jenny Aiden Christie Embroidery. I'll insert some pictures here that are on her website, but I just loved everything about this. You can actually buy the book that it's stuck to, and it's like a notebook, but it's quite expensive. But yeah, it's very daunting, but it's so well put together with a really lovely instruction book with pictures, and it explains absolutely everything. But it's absolutely gorgeous, but it's a teeny tiny design. So on the, oh god, I'll get the lid off. On there, I think that looks as if it's quite big, but actually that is the size of it. So hopefully one day when I feel I've got the confidence to have a go, but that's all there's all the kit for it. It's all silks and whatnot, loads of little bits that just sorry, the light, and I'm dropping it everywhere, it's terrible, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm not even, like, The Owl and the Pussycat isn't a story that from my childhood or anything like that I hold dear, but I just loved absolutely everything about it. And I think they call it stump work, which I've not had anything to do with yet on my course. But yeah, I took the plunge, and I bought this with my last of my full-time wages, so I thought I could afford it then. Not so much now, but yeah, it was expensive, but I just wanted it, so why the hell not? And then that leads me on to my 2020 plans and my Stitch 9 for my Stitch 9 choices for 2020. 2029 did I say then? Anyway, 2020 Stitch 9 plans. So you've already seen two, so it's Sally Spencer and Stars by the Drawn Thread, and then the rest are here. So sorry, this will take a bit of time. That's the Stars bag. So then I have chosen Horse Country Holiday by who is this by? Artful Offerings, and I've got the country sampler version, their version of it, and that's where I am. I've not done any more since my last video, but yeah, I would like to get that done and FFO'd. Sorry, this is going to take a bit of time, but I want to put everything back just so I don't get confused, because you do make a right mess anyway just setting up. Then I've got Bobbin for Pumpkins by with My Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I didn't get very far on this one because I misplaced it, and I showed this in my last video. That's all I've got. And I'm doing this one with threads from my stash. And then this one, I've had this one for far too long. This Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. And this is where I am. Every time I get this out, I just love it. I forget how much I love murky fabric, but that's where I am. So I've just got, there's one more motif to put on this side. So I've just got, where am I? That's upside down for a start, that's why. So over here I've just got to put in this bit, and then that will be as wide as the sampler is. Then I've just got another one more motif to put above that, and then that's the height. So I'm definitely not halfway, but I've got a good chunk done, so I should be able to get that done. And this one, I've had this one for ages as well. This is Persuasion by the Stitching Parlour. This is their Jane Austen series that they did quite a while ago. Persuasion is my favourite Jane Austen book, and the movie with Rupert with Sally. Oh, it doesn't matter. But this is where I am at the moment. It's quite a big and heavily dense stitched thing, but again, one I love and I would like to get finished. I have gone wrong somewhere, and I was off by half a stitch, and I was contemplating ripping everything out, but I think it required all of this to be taken out, and I'm just full steam ahead, just crack on, because it is quite big. That's my fabric. So yeah, enough dawdling now really, and just get the things done that I started in. I started this in 2017. This one is on Tout Seasons, or In All Season by Tawny Cotton. This I've had for ages, kitted up. I started it last year. Oh, that's weird to say that. And this is where I am, and I've put it on a giant hoop because I was finding it really hard. This is even weave, BST by Sparklies, 32 count even weave, but I was really struggling stitching this in hand, and I don't know why. I've got no idea. So I was working with it on a Q-snap, but then I just break out one of my hoops so I could do it all on one. You know, that's as high as it will be, and then there's just a fence. See, I'm not sure if you can really see the colour of the fabric, but it's a really pale blue. It's a lovely colour. But yeah, that one I'd like to get done, and that's got lots of different speciality stitches in it. And then this one is Emerald Dragonfly by Nora Corbett, or is it Mirabilia? Nora Corbett, I think. I've had this for years. I bought this at a stitching show. Well, just yonks ago, and I started it in 2017, and just started something else. But this, I've got a picture. I took this from the internet. Somebody took some lovely photos, because the picture, which I don't know where it is, I think I lost it yonks ago, and the picture on that they use is rubbish, so I got some pictures off the internet, and they'd also stitched the silver dragonfly and the bumblebee, and gorgeous. So yeah, I want to try and finish that one. And then finally, this is like my nemesis, which I'm carrying over from 2018, 2019 Stitch 9 challenge is my Anniversaries of the Heart, which I am going to get this done this year. I'm absolutely going to get it done. So I've got all the charts, and I think the next one that I'm working on is this Happy Birthday. No, it's not. What am I? So I've changed the order that you're supposed to do them. It's this one, Clara Ellen, and this one will be dedicated to my friend Amy. So there we go. That is all my Stitch 9. So hopefully I will have them all done. Sorry about my hair, it just looks a right mess because I'm trying to grow it. So it looks a bit rubbish at the moment. So yeah, all of my Stitch 9 for 2020, which I'm quite looking forward to cracking on with. I'm not sure what I'm going to stitch on today. I did pull out earlier in the year, maybe earlier in the year, November, of things. I went through all of my stash, and I picked out things that just like talk to me every now and again, that I just keep thinking about, and I was going to be, forget all my other whips, I want to start all of these, and then it's the old whips start in my head, and I don't want to have as many whips as what I have got. I can't even remember how many I've got now. It's not that many if I can get these 9 done, because at one point I think I had like 42, but I either got rid of some or I've managed to finish a lot of them off without starting anything new, or things that I have started new I've tried to finish anyway, or things that I did start I've just put back in and put as if they're not a whip. Taken them from my list of whips, just pretending that they're not real whips, and just put them back in my my stash. But depending on how long this video is, I'll just go through them. I mean, if you like long videos, I mean I do, I really like long videos, but I'll show you everything that I've pulled out. I'm not taking part in any more exchanges this year, other than with my friend Christina. We're going to do a birthday and Christmas exchange, and probably a Halloween exchange, just with each other. But that's all we're doing. I've just got this box crammed full with things that I really want to start. Sorry, I've not really prepared for this, so there's going to be lots of rustling. So these are Lizzie Kate, the 4 seasons. And basically all these are kitted up, ready to go. I'm going to make a right mess. This is Be Happy by Homespun Elegance. And I'm just going to use threads from my stash, and I've just got some blue fabric. I wanted to start this. This one I've loved it since it came out, and I had it at market, and I've never started it. This is Anna Greta by the Scarlet Letter, and I just love everything. And I've got it all, that's the colourful fabric and all threads. I think mine's a 32 count rather than a 35 count, that's needed. But anyway, then this is Let My Example Shine by Chessie and Me. And I've got everything. This is Oliver by Station. I always struggle with this. Stacey Nash Primitives. And then this one is Halloween Hoopla, or Holiday Hooper Halloween. I've got the colourful thread and fabric, and I think I've got all the threads, but if not, it's so tiny. This one is Sophia by Summer House Stitchworks. I love this, I love the colours. And then that's just 5 DMC I think, or 5, and some just baste and bake fabric. And this is Beneath the Sunlit Sky by Blackbird Designs. And I've got all the fabric. You can't get the colourful, I've got all the threads, but you can't get the colourful fabric anymore, so I've just chosen some from my stash, but I'm not sure if that's the one I want to commit to just yet. Then this is Jenny Bean's Christmas Sampler, and I've kitted this up. I was going to start this over Christmas, but then I chose something else. So a lot of these threads are all from my stash, or I've pulled them from other charts, which makes me really nervous because I bought those threads for that particular chart. Does anyone else feel like that, and they feel like they can't borrow them? I don't know why. How do people deal with their threads? How do they have a master set? I usually buy the threads for the chart usually, and I could have duplicates of everything. I've got a big spreadsheet that I've got that I made up with all of my charts and all the colours and all the ones I've got and all the ones that I haven't got, so I can sort it, so I can find it if I need to, if I run out of a thread. Actually, that's the point. This was a kit, and it should have a band at the bottom, like a candy cane striped band going across, but there wasn't enough thread, the red thread in there for me to do that, and that's happened to me on a few shepherd's bush kits, and I'm quite frugal with my thread, so but anyway, I forgot to mention that. So yeah, so a lot of these threads are from other projects, but it's not like I need to get out of that, but I find it a bit, ooh, what have I done? Then I've got Merry 2 by Plum Street Samplers. I've got that all kitted up on some fabric I've dyed. And Merry 1, I love this. I love both of those. And again, I've got them kitted up. And this is Fractal Bird by Shakespeare's Peddler. And this is a kit. And it came with the threads, and you just add your own fabric. This is Midnight Garden. I showed this in my last video from Shepherd's Bush, where I bought the tray. So because I loved how the Christmas one turned out, I wanted to do this. And then that also means, oh, I forgot to show this in my purchases, but I bought this in the summer, not in the summer, the end of summer maybe, and ordered the tray. This is Busy Bee Garden, Busy Bee stitching tray. So then I've got the tray for that one as well. So yeah, you know how much I love bees. That I went to pick that up when I went to visit her for December. She's off for a month now. So this one was given to me as part of an exchange from the Dixie Sampler exchange group, and it's Gathering Basket by Blackbird Designs, and she kitted it all up for me, which was, I thought was really sweet. But yeah, I love that. And then I'd like to do the strawberries from Deck the Halls from Blackbird Designs. There's one especially with the house, I think. Is it even a house, or am I thinking of a different one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Love this. And I've just got some random bits of fabric that I, you know, the silly cuts that you just need to use up. And then this is Queen Bee Pincushion. I've had this since it came out from market and then never done anything with it, and I love it. Got it all kitted up. Yeah. Then this one, Wee Santa by Heart in Hand. And I've got some of the threads and some fabric. I think I'm just going to do the rest in DMC or whatever I've got lying around, because I think there's loads of colours in this, and you could only use a tiny bit, but it's mainly his coat that's the most variegated, or jacket, and I have got that one. Now this one, I have wanted to start this, and I've always meant to in the winter, getting ready for spring, and it's Spring Snow by Ink Circles, and I don't think this looks very ink circly at all, but I just love this, and I am determined to start this and maybe finish it this year. And that's, I've got all the called for threads and the fabric, so I'm not going to start all of these. It was originally my plan, but I just need to not then increase everything by a million whips. But some of them I do absolutely want to get done this year. I keep wanting to say next year. This is one where you buy the button. And where is the button? Oh, you buy the button and you get the chart for free, and it's shepherd's bush, and that's the button, and then there's the chart, and it's joy to you. And it's, I mean, that doesn't tell you about how it will look, but it is really sweet when it's finished, and it's done on an 18 count natural linen, so it comes out quite big, so I'm quite looking forward to doing that one. Then this one I absolutely want to get done as well this year. This is Boys Are Back in Town by just another button company, and this is where you bought the buttons, you get the chart for free. And then I've got some fabric, purpley fabric. This one is Know Thyself by, who is this by? Blackwood and Briar. I bought this last year in 2018, and I love everything about this. And that should be quite a quick stitch. And I've got some, it looks black, but it's like really dark charcoal grey linen, because some of the threads, I did have black originally, but some of the threads didn't show up very well on it, so I changed it to the dark grey. I could have the same problem, but less so with the black. And then this one is Snow Angel by Lone Lane. I love this as well. And I've got some, I decided to do it on some blue fabric, and I've just got some of the threads. I've got loads, I don't know what I was thinking. Then this one is Heart in Hand, that's just my photocopy. Heart in Hand by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I love this, I love everything about it, except for I don't want to do the verse on that. And I've got some fabric that it isn't the call for, but it's very close to, I think it's Dolphin by Weeks Dye Works. Dove by Weeks Dye Works is the call for. I'm going to run out of battery, I think, so I'll try and get this done. Even if I could just make a start on that one. And then this one is Heap on the Wood, again by Brenda Gervais. I love this as well. It's the reflection of my screen on there. Yep. Heap on the Wood. And it's a Christmas one. And I have got that all kitted up. And my photocopy's made. This one, Full Moon by The Drawn Thread. So a lot of them aren't massive designs, except for the few Brenda Gervais ones and maybe a few others. So they're all quite small and quite reasonable sizes that I could get them, a lot of them done, she says confidently. And those are the silks in the call for fabric. Now these two, these are from Peppermint and Holly, which I borrowed the book from my friend Christina. So I've taken photocopies of the pages, and this is House on Holly Hill. And I've got none of the fabrics for that. I was just going to use what was in my stash. And then this one is Holly Manor, and I've got all the threads and just some fabric. That's Limestone by Zweigart, because I think it looks quite a green cast fabric. And then this one I bought off of I bought it off eBay, but it didn't come with a front cover, so I made I just got one off, and it's one off the internet, and it's Merry Friends by Plum Street Samplers. So I've only got one thread of that, and then I think I'm just going to use whatever's in my stash. And then finally, again, I've wanted to start this for absolutely ages, and this is Joyful World by the Snowflower Diaries, and I've got all of the, I mean, there's loads of threads, and I've had these since 2017 and never done anything with them. And you know, you spend a lot of money kitting things up, and then I don't start them. So they're all the colours. And then I've got, I was going to do these on one big piece at one point, but then I think I'm going to do them individually, and this is all done on 32 count Vintage Country Maca by Zweigart, and that is absolutely everything I think I've got in my stash that I want to start. I mean, I could change my mind on a lot of them, but at the time these were the ones that called out to me. The only other thing that it's that Brenda Gervais one, that it was a class kit for Shepherd's Bush, and it's the something rose one, and a lot of people managed to buy it from the Midwest Cross Stitchers retreat, and it was Winter Rose Manor, something like that, and I absolutely love it. So I would like to get that and start it. I'm hoping it comes out and market, and then I'm hoping that the other one that was another club kit is the Great Big Giant Berry. I hope it does come out by Blackbird Designs with the bird, and it's the giant berry, and I love it. To show these for Christmas, my friend bought me my cross stitch project Bible, and this is from the Stationery Geek. She's got a website, stationarygeek.co.uk, but it's just basically a book full of where you can just put all your projects, and then notes, or you might want to draw something out. But I thought this was great. It's quite thick as well, so I'm definitely going to use this. I've also gone down a bit of a rabbit hole with Erin Condren planners. I definitely wanted to get myself more sorted out this year, like meal planning, sorting out my budget, just be more accountable. I'm terrible with birthdays and remembering when they are, but so I bought well, I had it for free basically because I had some vouchers that I won from work for Amazon, and I bought this, so I'm quite looking forward to using that. And I've just been watching loads of planner videos and what everybody uses them for. I've almost just been a bit scared to write in it to start with, but so far, monthly goals: eat everything in freezer. You know, all the all the stuff that you cook and then bung it in the freezer to eat. And I've just got a massive freezer full of food that I've made, so that's what I'm just basically going to eat in January, and hopefully not do much cooking. Yeah, but I love the idea of this is like the monthly view, and then you get a week to a view. You can see a very tasteful evening out that I've got planned on the 11th of January. Magic Mike versus the Full Monty. So that'll be quite funny. And then you get a week to view, so I'll be able to write down, try and keep a log of what I've cross stitched on. Not that I want to say I've stitched on this for so many days, I just want to know when I've stitched. So yeah, I'm hoping I will use that. I've put these stickers on the front because I couldn't tell which was the front and which was the back. So yeah, hopefully you might be seeing some more of that. And then finally I forgot to do my giveaway for Lucy and Navia 1818. I did a random generate and the winner was triple stitch, so I will reply to your comments. My comments are really bad. I've not replied to all of them because I don't always get a notification, and then I forget to look, so I'm sorry if I seem, well, I am being really rude by not replying to everyone. I have replied to some, but I will go back and reply to the rest. But yes, triple stitch, I will reply to your comment, and I'll also leave my email address if you could get in touch and give me your address so I can send this to you. But anyway, that is it from me. I hope everybody has a lovely new year, and they have their plans and hopefully stick to their plans, and I will see you again hopefully next month. Yeah, in February. I do hope this is how I manage to carry on the rest of the year and doing more regular updates rather than leaving it months and months before doing. Anyway, I will see you all next time. Take care everyone. Bye.